Boy, it's such a nice and beautiful day. So people keep on asking me about when the price of silver is going to break out, when we're going to see some silver price increases. And well, I want to address that and first start by saying the real price of silver will emerge when the gig is up, so to speak. And what is the gig? Well, the gig is paper silver. So on Wall Street commodities traders, they're selling paper promises for silver. And they don't actually have any silver. And in 2017, the Securities Exchange Commission changed the rules for approved Wall Street traders. And they said that the approved Wall Street traders could sell contracts for silver, gold, and copper, regardless if they have any silver, gold, or copper. Since then, a lot of experts believe that the amount of paper silver in the marketplace has gone up quite tremendously. Now, how much paper silver really is there, and why does the paper silver matter? Well, first of all, the reason the paper silver matters is because the more paper silver that is in the marketplace presenting itself as actual silver, the more diluted the silver market becomes. And so a lot of experts believe that 99% of the silver market is just paper promises for silver, for which no silver exists. And that, to me, has a lot to do with why the silver prices have stayed low and or not been going up relative to the massive amount of inflation that we're seeing. And so that 99% paper silver essentially means that for every 100 guys that think they own silver in a vault somewhere with their name on it, only one of them actually does. 99 guys out of 100 think they own silver, but there's no silver for them anymore. And so what would happen if the financial situation gets worse, like it's probably going to, and people start to get nervous and they ask for delivery of their silver, and some people find out that they can't get delivery, and eventually a panic ensues, and then almost everybody's asking to take physical delivery of their silver, big groups, all different types of entities, but of course the vault holders, they don't have it. And so when people find out that their silver doesn't exist, they're going to be really upset. But also when people find out that there's only 1% as much silver as they thought there was, that's going to cause some major price adjustments, price corrections. And so the premise of this video, when people have said, well, Dave, where's the silver price going? And, you know, sometimes I tend to think that based on the current inflation numbers, $2,500 per ounce silver, I think is a very reasonable expectation. Why 2,500? Well, that's because there's only 1/100th as much silver out there as people think there is. And if people find that out, then the silver price is simple. They think there's 100 of them. There's only one. So that one, the people who own actual physical silver, that price is going to go 100x. That's $2,500 per ounce silver. Now that doesn't take into account the inflation that might occur between now and that realization. And so it may actually end up being higher, but based on today's numbers, I would say $2,500 silver is very realistic. Now, when would that happen? Would it reflect on the spot price? Well, right around the time when this whole thing goes down and crashes, that's when I think the true numbers emerge. But at that time, when the Wall Street guys find out, when everyone finds out the Wall Street's a huge fraud, they find out that the big sellers, the vault guys, they don't have any silver, or they don't have your silver, well, they're going to close. And they're not going to probably populate a spot price. And so right around the time that the silver price would go 100x, there may also not be a spot price. So really interesting scenario, but that's why I'm less fixated on spot price when it comes to silver, and I'm more fixated on what I'm going to do with the silver later. I don't want to sell the silver back for dollars during the meltdown. I want to trade it for goods and services. And so if I trade my silver for goods and services, but the silver price goes up to $2,500 an ounce, how are you going to buy a dozen eggs or a basket of vegetables from your neighbor down the street? That's why you need little tiny pieces of silver. Because forget the spot price. Silver is going to go astronomically higher, but there won't even be a spot price. There's either going to be that you have silver or you don't, and there's going to be your ability to trade that silver for goods and services or not. And if you have giant, if you bought only 100-ounce bars because you wanted to pay the least over spot, well, that's great. But then what are you going to do? You're going to buy a basket of vegetables with a 100-ounce silver bar? So anyway, that's my case for $2,500. I wanted to keep this short. And thank you so much for listening. I hope you're enjoying the weather. And I hope you have a great day.